So I don't see anybody in here yet. But on the replay, I will point out, well, welcome everybody. Everybody listening now, after I'm done recording this. This is HoriZone Roundtable. Doing it on YouTube again. I'm Bob McDonald. Couple of things before we get started. You see the website, HoriZoneRoundtable.com/subscribe. Links to all of our social sites, as always. Links to all of the podcast apps where we're available. That's where we're at. There's also a link to our Patreon. Page. Again, we're going to be starting in June on the features, exclusive access for patrons. So if you're not a patron, you're not going to get to read any of our off-season features. So do that. So go do that. And for those of you who have been on our socials, you know also we kicked off our off-season donation drive to get ready for preview week. We have set a goal of $1,500. So HoriZoneRoundtable.com/donate. If you are new to the YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe here and be sure to click that notification button so anytime I do stupid crap like this, you're going to get notified. So, here we go again. Here we go again! I was really hoping to not have to do any of this stuff. I was hoping to just get stuff done during the summer. But obviously that's not what happens. This is the Horizon League. And this is more Horizon gonna Horizon than anything on the planet. Oh, hold on a second. More Horizon on Horizon than anything on the planet. Looks like I'm on. Let's try that. Oh, crud. I see people viewing, but maybe I didn't do it right again. That could be it. Well, let's find out. Probably had to hit this streaming button again. No, it's on. Yeah, it looks like it's very much on. Or maybe it isn't. There I am, see? I exist! See, this is why I do this introduction thing, so it's like, okay, yeah, I'm here. It looks like I'm here. See, I can see myself on YouTube Studio. I think I did it right. Now, this requires some explanation too, because I actually do have I'm using a new computer on this one. My old one is old, so. And it has Windows 10, and I have no chance of updating it. And you guys don't want to hear any of this crap. You want to hear about how Paul Corsaro. You just want to talk about how Paul Corsaro got fired. Well, damn it, I don't know either. I mean, technically I do. Alright, so the reporting that is out now. The reporting that has been out for a couple hours now. Jeff Goodman is backing this up, originally from the Indy Star. So there was an investigation into misconduct allegations. It wasn't just one player. Apparently it was 6 players according to the Indy Star. It was the families of 6 players who transferred. So as we all know, 6 players who hit the portal. Okay? If you've been following us for any moment in time, if you know who we are, you know we have our 2025 transfer tracker. And we have a list of people from IU Indy, ex-players from IU Indy who hit the portal. There are 5 players, by the way. There used to be 6, but now there are 5. So you guys do the math on that one, and you can go to HoriZoneRoundtable.com. It's right at the top of the page, and you have a full list of everybody who's in the transfer portal. Unless we miss somebody that I'm not aware of. It's possible. It is possible I missed somebody. But yeah, but that's it. That's what launched the investigation, and I have to admit that there were rumblings about this investigation back in April. If you go to you go to the Burner Ball Discord, Trilly Donovan and his crew. Yeah, they were very befuddled by how quiet everything was, because there were people who were talking about it. we didn't really have too much of a conversation about it. Maybe we should have. Because this went all the way to the Office of General Counsel, which is an office who clearly doesn't care about timelines or when the portal opens or closes or all that good crap. I get it. Well, they found some stuff. Apparently some fireable offenses. And so for... Matt remembers 6 players. No, it was less than that many players, Matt. It was 5. 5 during the HoriZone League tournament in 22. I gotta say, though, this is... Oh, man, I gotta tell you. Indy is... This... I believe we called him insane. You called him insane. No, that was 2022. The Iron Six, we had them on the podcast. Anyway, what is it about IUND/IUPUI? I mean, seriously, they have had some seriously bad mojo ever since Jason Gardner got fired for his deal. You know, the 2 Byron Rim years were just terrible. And like, I couldn't believe that you have a team that has like Elijah Goss and the leading rebounder in the HoriZone League, and Jalen Minette and Marcus Burke, and you still can't do anything with them. Seriously. Oh man, yes. So when we had Paul Corsaro on, he did offer that, and I didn't even take him up on it when I was in Indy, because he actually had offered. He did have an offer to an Italian dinner in Indy. You can go back to our through our HoriZoneRoundtable.com, find our interview. Apparently, it might be off the table, Matt. It might be off the table. But yeah, I mean, you know, the Matt Crenshaw years are just, oh man, those were so. And Matt Crenshaw was a really good guy. Seriously. Oh, yeah. I felt bad for Matt Crenshaw. I mean, like, that was the Iron Six wasn't even the low point. The low point was Mantis. When he popped up at the scorer's table against Lindenwood. That was the low point. So yeah, none of that worked out very well. We were there, man. Indy was there. They looked like they were headed in the right direction. Paul Corsaro gets hired. He brings some of his guys over from Indy. They actually, oh man, no, I'm not even gonna verbalize that, dude. They had 10 wins. It's funny because we talk about 10 wins for 10 wins for any team is not a great year. For Indy, that's the most wins they've had since 2019. They've had 6 seasons. They've never had any double-digit wins. And they had some pretty decent wins in there. They swept Detroit Mercy. And Detroit Mercy is Detroit Mercy also on the up and up. I still contend that Detroit Mercy is probably going to be one of the top teams in the conference next season. But they were on their way. They were absolutely on their way. They had a core of guys coming back. Sean Craig being one of them. You definitely can. I need a host too, by the way. I just realized I should probably work on that this summer. That's going to take some explanation that I'm not going to give any of you. But they have Sean Craig coming back. They have Alec Millanders coming back. Deshaun Good and Keenan Garner, the 2 super freshmen for them. They were coming back. And Tamaris Brown was in the transfer portal. And he took himself out of the transfer portal and he was slated to come back. So they had that group together. And they have I believe 4 transfers. There were 4 transfers coming back. They have 4 transfers coming in. Jackson Edwards from St. Bonaventure by way of Valpo. for those of you who are Valpo inclined. Micah Davis. It was, yeah, a nice core, which would be awesome if they could bring everybody back. So they got Jackson Edwards, Micah Davis, Austin Ball, and William Wharton. Those are the guys coming in from the transfer portal. They had 3 additional freshmen coming in. 3 additional coming in. You were literally just talking about that. Austin Sperry, McGuire Mitchell, and Gabe Stewart. They were all slated to come in. I believe, and the walk-on, AJ Holobar was coming back. So I think they had 13 guys on the roster. And I believe because of kind of the new roster restriction, the new roster kind of parameters that are going to be spawning from this house settlement that may or may not get done this summer. I don't know what the hell they're doing. 15 is kind of the limit. And so they could theoretically bring in a couple more guys. But now that Paul Corsaro's gone, guess what? Now you gotta work, and now whoever's coming in is gotta work on getting all of these guys back. Not a great time to do that. Now, I say not a great time to do that, but look at the transfer portal. There are thousands of names in there. Plenty of guys to pick from. It's not entirely the end of the world, and I don't know if all of these guys will leave. I expect some of them will, but not all of them. But it's going to be one of those things, I don't know. Matt has a question, what changes from last year to this year for him? I don't know. That's a good question. He had players, you're correct, he had players following him, and they liked him, they wanted to play with him. I don't know what changed. That's a good question. Now, mind you, of course, I don't know if, that's the question I have to ask. I don't know if, because it feels like we're talking about guys who are in the portal, and I don't know if any of the guys who are in the portal are actually guys holdovers from U of Indy. All right, so I had no idea. So that's kind of the thing that I'm thinking of, because you don't have, what I'm thinking is that I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. I cannot remember. See, this is the thing. Until we get like a little bit additional information about and I don't know if we ever will. We could do the math. We can kind of put, piece together things that we know about the transfer portal and things about, what they're talking about. I don't know if any of the U of Indy guys, I don't know if any of those guys actually did go to, I don't know if any of those guys are any part of that 6th group. That's the problem. We don't know if that's the case. Because a lot of those guys, because Sean Craig obviously was not one of these guys. He was never in the transfer portal. He's a U of Indy guy. He was never one of those guys. So I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't know, again, about the other, part of it, and unless these folks reveal them, unless these players reveal themselves, now that's bullshit. No matter, you get a shot at D1. No, that is not true. All right, I lived through Dennis Felton, okay? That is not true under any circumstances, so no. Jesus. All right, anyway, let's talk about who might take his place. Okay, so I put out a list. A list of the potential replacements. This is probably one of those things where I'm just probably. We're 101. We had Rob Summers on the Cleveland State list. Finally hit on that one. Awesome. By the way, our interview with Rob Summers is out there, so absolutely you want to listen to that. It's a great interview. Yes, I am tooting my own horn. You're here. You're here. Go ahead and listen. It's great. Of course, most of you, I don't know who's here, so you probably already listened anyway. Why wouldn't you? So as far as replacements are concerned, okay, I put in Link Darner. I know he's probably not gonna come here. He's not gonna go to IU Indy. I want him to go to IU Indy. Maybe that'd be nice, but that one's one of those pie in the sky things that probably not gonna happen. However, now those of you who are familiar with this little thing that I do, you've probably heard of the Jim Crutchfield coaching tree a couple of times, haven't you? I have. Well, so we mentioned this guy during the Cleveland State coaching search, Ben Howlett from West Liberty. Ben Howlett from West Liberty. And so guys racked up 217 wins. Eventually, this is a guy who's going to jump to D1. I feel like IU Indy is a perfect opportunity for him. I feel like this is a very good opportunity for him. So, I mean, it stands to reason he would probably be your top choice. Well, I mean, your top choice. My top choice is still Link Darner. Couple of other names. I feel like I put Terry Johnson in there. I think it might make too much money. Laval Jordan. I'm a weirdo. I'd put him in because reasons. No, that's bad. I did put Ryan Sharbaugh in, though, the Missouri assistant. I want another Dennis Gates assistant in the HoriZone League. I'm just pushing that. I thought that would be cool. I'm just throwing that out there. I also put Stan Gerard's name in that list, and I'm probably gonna regret putting him in that list because he hasn't done. He's still kind of adjusting to D1 because over at USI. So maybe not him. All right. By the way, shout out to the Burner Ball guys over the Burner Ball Discord. Best $6 a month I've ever spent. Seriously. I got some interesting choices too. Somebody threw out Pat Knight's name. Yeah, that Pat Knight. I didn't know where he was. I should have known where he was. He's at Marion University. He's in the area. He's in Indiana. He's coaching for Marion University. They didn't do. I mean, in his first year, they didn't do all that great because they finished 11-17. So maybe another year on that one. I don't know. A little bit too much of a Will Ryan vibe on that one. I mean, we know what he can do, but I don't know, dude. Yeah, I don't know what he can do, but I feel like that's not. I don't know about that one. See, Will Ryan screwed it up for everybody. He just screwed it up for everybody. So if you're like one other name though that actually somebody pulled up, Drew Cooper. Drew Cooper is the head coach at another D2 school, Kentucky Wesleyan. And looked him up a little bit, and let's see, what did you do last year? He's been there for a while. They were 22-17 this year. They did very good. Actually, they did really good this year, and that might be a name worth looking at. Drew Cooper of Kentucky Wesleyan. So I think that is probably a name that we should be looking at. Yeah, definitely not a bad night. But I feel like that's going to be kind of the group at this point. Price point's going to be a thing. My understanding is that I think Corsaro was making in the like $250, $260 a year range. It's still at the bottom of the HoriZone League. It still is. So, I don't know. I want to say Gottlieb is making more, but I could be wrong. I mean, I feel like we had this conversation before, but there's a whole other reason for that, obviously. Um, yeah. You'll do it for one. Matt will do it for 190 since we're going in. Since it's clearly going into the we're gonna hire media personalities. Matt'll do it for 190. I just had a very chilling thought, by the way, and I don't know if any of you will like this. I definitely don't. There's a media guy out there with coaching experience that might take a look at this job, and I really hope he doesn't. Can anybody take a guess who that is? Yeah. It's Dan Dakich. I don't know. I don't know if somebody actually suggested that, but I just thought of that for a minute, and the thought of that, ran chills up my spine, and no, absolutely not. Can't do that one. Absolutely can't do that one. I feel like there's some other additional names out there that I feel like we're getting there. There's a few other names out there that potentially could be out there. I don't know. The Barterboro people are just making fun of all of this, No. But yeah, I think at this moment in time, no. Yes, if Dakich, Gottlieb, and Campy all in one league, this thing has jumped the shark. Yep. Yes, it has. You know what? We've been on this ride. This would be a ride unlike any other. And it's amazing because, we're the ones kind of looking at this and paying attention to this and all that good stuff. It's like, okay, come on. What are we doing here? Well, I know what we're doing here. We're the HoriZone Roundtable, and this is what we do. Like, who else would be talking about this for at a minimum of 20 minutes related to this? Oh, no. Are you sure? I don't know. Yeah, apparently Matt has promised if Dakich comes in, he's going to come in and come back. Whatever shall we talk about, Matt? I don't know. This is not a conference of champions, Will. This is a conference of you did your best, that's okay. I have one good freaking year, and then everything goes to hell again. And we were here for it, too. That was great. That's the best part of this whole thing. Somebody else suggested Steve Pearl. I don't know about that one. I think Steve Pearl might make too much money to even consider this. Yeah, again, but I gotta tell you, it's really important we get it going. There is no time to waste, man. That new facility, that $100 million facility, is being built right now, and off season's coming up, so there is absolutely no time to waste. If I'm Luke Basso, I am under the gun. Want to get this done quick, and I don't blame you. I don't blame him. So I will say this. I mean, oh my God, who is it? Coaching changes? Oh God. So basically, Coaching Changes has their own list, and it's all JUCO guys. First of all, ask New Mexico State how the JUCO thing went. Second of all, they seem to be under the impression. All right, so there seems to be this impression now. I mean, this is probably true, 3 years ago. That what was IUPUI was basically, this was pretty much bottom of the barrel, bottom of KenPom, bottom of net. Nobody cared. For just about every Horizon League school, you could pretty much, unless you really slipped up. They were considered like an easy win. They were. There's no bones about it. This is not that IU. That was IU. That was IUPUI. This is IU Indy. There's a lot more things going on now. They were working on digging themselves out of the cellar. Right? They've got this new facility coming online soon. So they're not going to have to play in the gym. They're not going to have to play in the high school gym anymore. So, expecting that there's absolutely nobody who's going to be interested in this job other than, guys who, want to jump up from JUCO is just irresponsible. Come on, get it together, guys, really. One of these days you'll stop pulling names out of your asses and be done with it. Except you're not going to do that because that's what you guys do. I mean, we pull names out of our asses, but we're making educated guesses here. R.J. Hunter. Is R.J. Hunter even is he coaching now, R.J. Hunter? Ooh. Georgia State was a long time ago, man. Damn. Thank you. I feel much older now. I feel ancient. Oh, my God. Anyway. So... I guess we'll see. Hopefully this process doesn't take very long. Oh, of course he is, because he's coaching with his dad. Oh, that makes totally sense now. I don't know. Maybe I feel like the experience part of it might be a thing. I don't know. It's not. It's the same thing that gave me pause with like Jay Shunner when we were talking about the Cleveland State search with Jay Shunner and Travis Lewis. The experience might be an issue. That was kind of a thing with me. I don't know. Would be pretty cool that R.J. Hunter comes back to coach IU Indy. That would be pretty sweet. Of course, we remember what happened when IUPUI legends come back to coach. We saw how that worked out the last time. Sorry to say. But here we are. Here we are once again. And there's the $64,000 question. Do you think the new transfers will stay or leave? Well, as of right now, as of 6:27 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, on May 13th, 2025, as of right now, nobody has decommitted. Now, whether or not that still is the case 24 hours from now is a whole other animal. And I guess we'll find out soon enough. I mean, it depends upon the timing of this. I don't know. I mean, Cleveland State's turnaround time was, I think, about 2 weeks or so. And that didn't matter because all 13 players at Cleveland State for this season left. By the way, shout out to them because every single one of them found new homes. Every single one of them found new homes. So shout out to Cleveland State for all those Cleveland State players. You guys did a great job. And you were rewarded with new places to play. It was just... at lightning breakneck speed, so that was pretty good. But I guess the next 24 to 48 hours, I think it's going to be pretty crucial, specifically for the players, not necessarily coaches. I think it might be a 1 or 2 week turnaround on locating and hiring the coach. Still think that's going to be the case. Will they be able to convince some of the players that have now transferred in to come in? I'm not familiar with IU Indy's. I'm not familiar with IU Indy's academic calendar. They may already be signed up for summer classes and taking them right now. So that may be coming to that may factor in. I don't know. Didn't factor in 2019 for Cleveland State. That was for sure. But that's the whole thing Cleveland State already has their stuff. That's what they're going to have to contend with. IU Indy, that is. And so here we are. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for me. I got stuff to do. I didn't want to do this today, but y'all left me no choice because people got fired today. All right, HoriZoneRoundtable.com. That's where we're at. You know where we're at. You can pull up our past episodes. You can pull us, You pull up the articles I just wrote today. Everybody else did, apparently. I don't think it's that crucial, man. Anyway, HoriZoneRoundtable.com. You can replay this on YouTube. It's there. It's on our YouTube channel, so you can definitely do that. And of course, you can pull up all of our episodes where podcasts are available. Don't forget. I'm not sure when I'm going to do the next podcast episode, but you'll know when I know. Until then, we'll talk to you later. Thanks for joining us.